Hi, Vibe Tribe. Hello. It is a beautiful day because we're choosing it. And I just wanted to share with each and every one of you what has been going on. What in the world? My goodness. Helena and I have seen an influx in our clients in regards to what is happening on the planet. So I figured this would be a great opportunity for me to share with you of what is happening. All right, so what we're seeing currently right now, a majority of us, now some of you, this message is going to resonate beautifully. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, is she reading my mind? Is she watching me? No, it's just that I'm sharing what are the particular symptoms that those who are energetically sensitive and going through an ascension process can be experiencing at this time. Now, some of you will watch this and be like, I'm not going through that at this moment. And that's okay. Perhaps this is not the time yet, but that doesn't mean that this message won't assist you at some point. It will. So let me kind of give you an idea of what the heck is going on. A lot of us have been saying, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. No matter what I'm doing, I can't seem to be at full throttle like I used to. Now, if you can recall several videos back, we had discussed about how the energetic frequencies were going to heighten so much this year, and that it was going to bring in multiple planetary influences to help our collective and the planet to shift. So many of us have been experiencing physical fatigue. We had a couple people this week saying, man, all I do is sleep, sleep, sleep. Well, I remember about right before the portal activation on February 22nd, 2022, I recall people could not get sleep. So now it seems like we've hit the other pendulum. Now, I'm sure there are many of you that are having broken up sleep patterns, and that is quite normal and a time where electromagnetic frequencies are coming out of the sun. And also, we have physical and spiritual shifting happening in spiritual structures and in the energetic form as well. So, a lot of us kind of imagine like you are a battery of the car. And I've used certain illustrations before, but let's use the car battery for example. Now, each and every one of us have a car battery, and we will say it is the solar plexus because the solar plexus represents that life force energy. It's our personal power, it's our confidence, our self esteem. It also affects the second brain as well, along with the sacral. But we'll just say when the day has gone through its ebb and flows, a lot of us, our batteries are going to be depleted. So, all of us are a huge vessel. We are like a driving force. I like to look at this body like a vehicle. And this vehicle will take me to wherever I need to go, on planet, off planet. So I've got my what is it called? My air miles going on for me because I know that I've not only been plugged in here in this reality, but in my sleep, I mean, with the bags and all, I mean, I'll tell you, with my sleep, I've been sleeping though. I wake up exhausted. So I must call back my soul fragments that was dispersed through people, places, situations, circumstances, life events on this plane and other dimensions. That's right. I go ahead and I call back my soul fragments and I purify them and cleanse them in the holy fire flame. So that way, when they are restored back into my essence and my etheric field and physical body, I'm not absorbing where my fragments were at. So, what's happening is there's a lot of energy coming through. So, our batteries, our vessels are working on overdrive. And a lot of us are burning out. So it seems as though the fuel, which is our life force energy, is quite depleted. And as the current gas prices have increased, so has the electromagnetic frequencies, the emotions, and thought forms of all of us in the collective, creating major impacts in our realities. So, what we need right now is stabilization. And what we can do is only stabilization for ourselves. We can't expect others to fall into that alignment when they are just learning how to navigate their vessel and recognize where their destination is leading them to. So, what can we do, right? What can we do? There's so many things that we can do. Number one, we could use the plants, the frequencies of Mother Gaia's medicines. And a lot of it could be medicinal properties of herbs and foods, because that in itself has the vibrations that our physical vessel and our battery needs for support. So I would say this is the time, and if you're not a fruit and veggie kind of person, then you want to take a look at Juice Plus because they give you capsules that give you about 30 plus fruits and veggies that I'm sure, unless you're a lovely little zoo animal, unless you have been able to consume all of that at once. That can be quite difficult, especially in our demanding days. And even with these frequencies altering our appetites, it's been really difficult for many of us to eat. So I have been suggesting using a smoothie, getting yourself a plant based protein. Why am I saying plant based? Because right now the energies are so dense that you need a higher vibration to consume in your body to fuel you up and give you that increase that you need. So perhaps a smoothie, getting yourself some organic proteins. And again, I do suggest plant based because of what's happening worldwide right now. And I say it because your body is vibrating and communicating with the earth. So you're going to need the tools and the ingredients to support the physical body. So that's one way is by vibrating in a higher resonance based upon what you are placing inside of your body is going to help increase that energy or help you to sustain you and keep you going in the momentum. Also, your feelings and your thoughts, because Helen and I constantly address the emotional frequency code. What is that? The emotional frequency code is whatever you're going through right now at this moment. There are thoughts and emotions that are emitting a frequency outside of your body that are affecting yourself, your physical body, your spiritual body, your emotional and thought form body, along with your environment outside of you or those that are close to you can also be impacted because of where you're at. So I am suggesting also to have a place of gratitude. I'm telling you that these life events have caused me to have such a place of just beaming of joy and gratitude that I'm alive. Now, I had COVID not so long ago. It's now been almost a year. And that was very frightening because it felt like a Russian roulette with how it can affect people on different levels. Well, thank God. I'm so grateful for divine's protection. I thank God for the healing modalities that I was gifted since I was incarnated in this vessel to be here. I am so grateful for all of my modalities and the tools that I've used to support my immune system and my etheric body. And so being in a place of generosity, giving thanks so you can wake up in the morning and be like, thank you, divine, that I can see, that I can hear, that I can speak, that I can think, that I can walk, that I can be alive today. And you're going to see how, because of you are having a gratitude attitude, you are going to attract more of those frequencies. So if your emotional frequency is of despair or it is of frightening and your life view is being like, I'm feeling like things are not working out for me, then you're going to keep pulling that in. And no, I'm not saying that in the current environment that may not be something that is causing some form of challenge. However, only you are the creator, you are the author of your life. Only you can change perspective and pivot your situations. Okay. So working on that higher vibrational resonance of generosity and also being mutually respectful of others because we're all of a different vibrations of consciousness. There's this big consciousness, we'll say. Like imagine like a big brain, and each of us are all connected to this brain, but this brain emits different frequencies. So depending on where you are in your frequency, you will then align with other people that are connected to the consciousness that are vibrating at that same frequency. So then that's when you find one another and you can empower each other and inspire. Or where I've seen others do the opposite, where they are aligning with the frequency that they're at, but they're not at a higher vibrational. They're kind of at a lower vibrational because of whatever they're enduring. And so then they hang out with other people that have the same vibration, and it's like poison after poison. So those are things to be mentally aware of. Now, here's the other thing that I've been sharing throughout the years, and because of our business, we encounter people on the daily that are dealing with other people's judgments, opinions, negative behaviors that are trying to sabotage you, that are telling you nasty, negative things straight to your face and even behind your back. That's right. That's right. Because that's a version of them that are unhealed. And so, what an unhealed human can do, here's some of the things that their traits will come up with. if they're struggling in a particular area, or there's a personality of theirs that they really want to switch, but they don't have the courage, or they may not have the know-how, or they may not even have the support system to help them to achieve that said life and thinking and being. So what happens is, if you come around and you're like beaming, you're illuminated, everything's just fantastic, you pissed them off. That's right. You're not even trying to, you're just being present. And so they're going to attack you. Now, sometimes they'll give you a backhanded compliment or a passive aggressive comment. Well, I've had them all. And so people will do that because they are screaming for help themselves and they don't know how else to do it but to attack you. Now, those are some things that I've noticed are happening. So, what you can do with people like that is either you're going to have the patience, the compassion, and talk them down from a negative space and help them to find a different perspective. Now, if you're like, I don't want to do all that, I ain't got time for that, I got to deal with me, then the other option is to avoid certain people that are going to create a judgment that will make you sick. Because I've been seeing people coming in because of the way their family, friends, people they work with, people they've been encountering have spewed their toxic negativity and causing another to become ill. What the heck? Stop doing that. So we realize that our judgments get passed on and can increase like a snowball effect and can create a great detriment to many. So what I would suggest is give yourself space between you and those people. And also, I've been telling everyone, you should tell the person. I know you're totally uncomfortable and that's super awkward and they'll probably retaliate and what have you. But regardless, the person is going to feel the way that they feel. So I highly suggest to communicate in a manner that's not attacking them, because then you're just giving them the same medicine. You're going to have to come in with a different perspective and words that are life-giving instead of life-taking, like what they've been doing to you. So keep that in mind about how we are interacting with others. Right now, we got Saturn retrograde. And if you're not familiar, that means karmic issues are coming up. I've been doing more past life work than I've done in years. It has increased tremendously because your karmic lives are being brought into surface. And now you've already accomplished certain goals and lessons that you wanted to learn. So those karmic issues are now ready to be cleared. Yay! Now, some of you are finding out that there's past life issues that are still coming up. That's okay. In fact, let it happen. Let it come to surface so that finally in this cycle for the whole year, because that's what it's about, this rest of the year is all about fine-tuning and purging those toxic traits, behaviors, reactions, ancestral issues that were passed down to you, whether you know it or not. And so those are things that I want you to think about and also be mindful about whom you're interacting with. Because remember when I said in my January 2022 predictions that this year we were going to be more clustered, we were going to unify, and we were going to be more united with like-minded individuals so that we can use it as an opportunity to amplify and elevate those higher vibrational resonant frequencies so that it can bless our environment and start to affect others. So consider about not sharing anger and useless, really useless, detrimental opinions towards others. There's a way of how you want to deliver a message. So you can let people know what they mean to you and how you want to be treated, and maybe give an example of what that looks like to you, because each and every one of us have a different love language and how we want to be treated and how we want to be communicated to be supported. And sometimes our words are of total great nature, of like it's of a nurturing spirit, but it comes off like nails scratching a chalkboard. And people are like, what is that, right? I just aged myself. Okay, so it's like hitting the funny bone, right? Anybody could probably relate with that, and it's very uncomfortable. So please consider about how you are interacting with others. And right now, during our karmic lessons for this whole year, this is the time where our acts of kindness should be increasing as well. And so the reason being is that it's going to help support the wounded child and the adult that has been angry for so long. This will help the simmering anger to be released and for it not to have that kind of power over you. So those are some ideas. Another thing is in regards to complaining. So I'm a complainer too. I mean, what human doesn't have their moments of fits when they're complaining? However, in the fits of complaining, this is what I've been doing for me, and every one of you can do something that will work for you. So, as I'm complaining, I will say at the end of my complaint, well, all is working well and into my favor. Divine is granting me the ideas, the creativity, the resources, the people, the opportunities that will serve me so that this particular issue is resolved. It is done, it is done, it is done, and thank you in advance. Let it go. That's one way. Now, here's another thing too. Helen and I, we've noticed that a lot of us have been going through a lot of bad thought patterns. Why is that happening? Because those versions of ourselves have been so deeply suppressed because we were just enjoying life, going about our days and business. And all this that is happening is for us to be more reflective and to become more aware of who we are and what we're doing and the people that are around us. What roles do they play and how do we want to interact with one another? So, think about how you are communicating about your life. You can, not saying that we should not ever talk about the duality of life because not everything is bright and beautiful. It must go through its storms for that rainbow to shine and for the sun to break through those stormy clouds again. So I'm not saying that, but I am trying to say take a moment when you notice those thought forms coming in, replace it with what you're really calling in. So because what you are doing by your thought forms and your emotions, the way you're communicating, you are transmitting information out to the divine universe. And you want to make sure that what the message that you're sending out is the message you want to get returned right back because it's a mirror effect. It's a boomerang. Okay. So keep that in mind. A lot of us are going through areas of we're having issues with focusing. Of course, we're having issues with focusing. With all the different timelines that are coinciding and all the consciousness that are currently going back and forth with being able to sustain the reality in a manner that is comfortable, that has been a big sensitive issue this year, especially. So some of us are having a difficult time in focusing. I tell people, try your best to center into your body and breathe that through. Now, a lot of the times people are like, I'm not able to really find a solution at the moment. Here's what I'm also discovering. It's not just me, on the collective scale. If the solutions aren't coming, it's because the timing isn't right. Did you hear me? If the solutions aren't coming, it's the timing isn't right. That doesn't mean it's a no. Okay. It may mean that it is not right now because what's happening is that you're moving up this way, right? And the people that are a part of your life that will affect how certain things will be going could be family, coworkers, what have you. If they're not there with you and you're like this, do you see the disparity there? Do you see that space in between? So you just keep doing you and don't worry about everyone else down here. Eventually, they'll either meet you or they won't, or they may even surpass you. So at the moment, it's like divine's protections upon all of us. There's been things I've been waiting for since last year, and I haven't been able to get it because of the shortages that are going on world scale, which we talked about for the past few years that we were going to experience. And yes, it's affected me as well. So try to change your focus. Use the opportunity to breathe it through. Still write out what you are attracting in, but move into action to support what you are asking for the divine to provide as well. Now, here are some things that you can do to support your spiritual and energetic bodies. It is important and it is imperative to ground and shield. Here's one that I've been teaching my clients for quite a while. Now, imagine yourself in white light energy. And if you can't, look at something white, look at it and stay that way because not everyone has the ability to see through their clairs. Now, some can get downloaded and have a claircognizance where they have a deep-seated knowledge and then they get it. And so they understand. Now, some of you may not even have that. Some of you may sense it in your body. So I want you to either hold something white, look at something white while we're doing this, or those who are psychic and can see clearly through your mind's eye, visualize in your mind's eye white light energy and envelop yourself in that bubble of white light energy. Okay. And now you're going to say, I do not allow my family, friends, people I work with, you could say their names, or any lower vibrational energetic being or imbalance, I do not allow them to permeate my energetic field or space, for I am enveloped in this white light energy. I am shielded and protected. I'm anchoring my life force energy to the center core of the earth, for I am deeply stable, safe, secure, and grounded. I am deeply safe, stable, secure, and grounded. And so it is, and so shall it be. Again. Now, there's many tools that you could use also to support your etheric field, because a lot of the times people just think that the physical body, that's all there is. That's not true. About 6 feet out, depending on who you are energetically and where you are at in your abilities and how you practice your clairsenses, your energy field can expand even out to 8 feet. Okay, that's why when someone walks down the stairway or enter a room, you're like, what is that? Because your inner being is sensing someone else's energy field. And it's so big and large. So what I do is, besides grounding and shielding like we just did, I also use my energy waters. Okay, there is Transcendent, there is Protect Me. These are my favorite ones. Transcendent is what I use to help me to raise my vibration, and so that I can go into a transcendental state and connect to my higher self and to those that are here to support me in the spirit and physical realm as well. Then I use my Protect Me energy waters because, people are angry right now and they don't mean to, and sometimes they do because it makes them feel better. They will attack you energetically. They're called energy vampires. Like we call them the sob sisters, the drama queen, the ones that just come to you to throw all their crud all over you just so that they can feel a little bit more lighter, and they'll go right back to feeling filled up again, because that's their life. But now they've taken from some poor soul that was not in the same vibration and they sucked them dry because perhaps that lovely soul didn't shield, didn't ground, did not create an energetic boundary. And so now they've been violated. My goodness. You could also use energy healing techniques to keep your etheric and physical body cleansed and heightened in a vibration resonance that will support you to be more of enlightenment, to give you a life view of being aware. Those are things that we like to address and help support all of you. And we teach you fundamental tools. We give you terminology so that you too can learn and research and understand what is happening. Because what we've learned through theta healing, when the brain can identify and have the knowledge that's necessary, you will have major breakthroughs and you'll have clarity and wisdom and you'll be able to know which way to go. So we want to remove that confusion. So those are ways of helping your energetic body to be cleared, is through energetic clearings. A lot of you are having difficulty with meditation. Just do the sounds. Do like megahertz in your area. Do binaural beats. Work with music. Music has beautiful frequencies, keys that our physical and metaphysical body is nourished by. That's why we all love music in a certain way, because it feeds the soul. And then there are frequencies that are bad and that break down the soul. So look for affirming and also life-giving music and frequencies that will support your energetic body. Also, here's what you could do on the physical body, my loved ones, is drinking more water. I know that sounds so cliche, and I've been terrible because I just get busy and what have you. So I make sure that I have a big tumbler and I put frozen fruit in there so I can have my version of my spa water. And then I know that I'm most likely to drink it because the natural sugars of those fruits are now being creating like almost like a flavored water and giving me the minerals and the vitamins and giving me the joy to drink it. So make sure to increase your intake of water, because the frequencies are so potent right now that we're feeling more dehydrated, we're feeling more fatigued, and also a little confused and disoriented. Also, avoiding processed foods. Oh, it's been hard lately since all these vibrations have been like coming through and violating us in different ways. But I am going to suggest, if you're going to have some fun processed foods, then have some fruits and veggies there on the side to compensate, to balance it out. I'm not saying to avoid it, because right now you got to do what you need to do to pacify your body as a coping mechanism right now in a time where it's this intense of energies. So keep that in mind as well. Now, remember when I was saying about how our life force has been depleting because of the energetics that have been coming through from the spirit realm and also outside of the cosmos? If you don't believe me, you can read that up on yourself. Look up NASA, take a look at what's happening outside of our planet. There's a lot of great news going on. It's very stimulated. In fact, they don't even understand why. I think they do, but they don't want to get into it too much with us because a lot of us are not ready for all of that. So keep that in mind. Take your supplements. I've been suggesting to a lot of people to have some really great supplements to support your immune system. This is the time where our immune systems are going to be attacked once again. We're going through another wave, and because it's summer, where we were so accustomed to believing that only certain germs would live and would come during the winter. Well, guess what? We got some new ones, and we got some old ones, some classics, right, from 2020 that are still lingering in our atmosphere and that will continue to increase. So your immune system must be strengthened. Health is wealth, my loves. Okay. So I've been teaching you all about how you can grow your own food. You can get yourself supplements that it's just easy to take. Boom. You just put it in your mouth, swallow it with a glass of water or your favorite beverage, and go about your day. But please keep in mind, this body is dependent on you, on how you're going to fulfill this vessel to keep you going. So, and in that manner, as you, whatever you're soaking up, everybody, just keep this, it's very simple. Whatever you're soaking up, whatever you're absorbing, will take a big toll in your environment and how you're going to attract further of those particular connections and experiences. Please pay attention to your intuition. A lot of you are not realizing that you have come on online. A lot of you got woken up, and you're not realizing that all of us are born with a beautiful gift of intuition. Now, it's been drained and drowned out a bit, whether it's through religion, family, friends, society. They're like, it's hokum. BS. How do you think a lot of these people come up with new ideas and inventions? It's our intuitions connecting to the big cosmos, to the bigger brain consciousness. But that's okay. They may not understand that at the moment, and that's all right. But I do tell people, please practice your intuition. I have a workshop that you can learn. I seriously took a lot of time from all of my teachings from around the world, from my family dynamics, from my upbringings, from my healers as I was a child, my fairy godmothers, I love them, and my fairy godfather, I love him even more so. I appreciate him greatly. You must learn how to use your intuitive senses. There's wonderful books. You don't want to take my workshop? Don't. Grab a book. Grab a friend. Learn and practice with someone that already knows. But I am telling you, this is not the time to ignore your gut instincts. I was just sharing with a client yesterday that the stomach is considered the second brain. Now, some say it's the first brain because of the way the nervous system is and how it affects the whole body. But either way, know that your head and your stomach, this is your informational ports, okay? Right here. So when you are going through something difficult or challenging, your emotions will be disrupted, which affects your stomach. Why does that happen? Because the sacral chakra governs your emotions and how you interact with others in your relationships of whatever kind that they are. So it is our gut instinct. That's why when we feel sick or we feel off, we get nervous here because it's trying to tell us something. Right? The message is to help us to pay attention to these intuitive messages, inspirations, aspirations, and for it to penetrate our life so that we can put it into reality. So, a lot of us are beginning to recognize when our little hairs begin to stand up, or we're beginning to realize deja vu moments. I've been hearing that a lot. I too have gone through that. I just recently went through that over the weekend with my husband. And I was like, I could have sworn we came to this place. And he's like, no, we've never been here. He goes, he's from Colorado. He goes, I've never been here. You've never been here. And I was like, I could have sworn it felt like I've been in that location. So I said, okay. And then I just let it go. But I've noticed I'm not the only one. There's a lot of us experiencing deja vu moments or noticing glitches in the matrix and saying, wait a minute, I could have sworn I put this thing here. And all of a sudden I can't find it. Like people are telling me, and this is funny. Let me know if this is happening to you. People are losing things. And it reminds me of the Bermuda Triangle, like some kind of situation like, oh, like the sock thing, like we would joke around about how our socks would get lost in a dryer and there's like the sock monster was eating it. It's kind of like that, but on a grander scale. And I've been noticing that a lot of people have been losing things and then they find it out of a random place, like somewhere obscure that they would have never found it at. So if that's been happening, I'd love to hear about that as well. So here's another thing too. In regards to what Spirit wanted me to tell you, write things down. If you've been having some strange images or words or numbers or certain repetitive things happening, Write it down. There's a pattern for a reason. It's for you to recognize a message that is arriving to you from the spirit world, and it's helping you to be able to learn how to anchor those in and hone it in for future manifestation. So please keep that in mind as well. Oh, and here's another thing. We're in retrograde. Remember what I was telling you guys all in the telling everybody in regards to how as the months are going to continue to get closer towards the end of the year, it's going to get more uncomfortable. We're going to become more emotional. And I know a lot of us already been. A lot of us are going through ego deaths. We're going through deaths of our old versions of ourselves because that version cannot go with us. And we're holding on tight like nobody's business. And we can't hold on to it anymore. It just goes through our hands like sand or like the air breeze. And so the reason why that's happening is that we can't be related to those perspectives and personas in our old past anymore because the way that the planet is shifting and the way we're all being influenced, that version, that weight cannot be brought with us. It won't vibrate there in the next up leveling. So stand your position with others that are also trying to put you down and tell you that you are less than and that you're not worthy. They're the critical beings. They're the ones that are ready to attack. Remember, I had mentioned that earlier today. So screaming with them, having that interaction, your silence is the biggest FU. It really is. Sometimes the people are just looking to extract more of your energy by having a confrontation and argumentative behavior because they're so weak. And the only way they could feed off of you is to get you to interact with them. And if you come in with that anger energy, they're going to feed off of that. And all they're doing is depleting your energy. How messed up is that? So take your position, stand firm. If you must silence yourself, that is the greatest message you can give, and cut them off. You don't owe anybody any more excuses or reasons. If you've been sharing with them what is important to you and they still don't care, that is your answer. Walk away. No, run. Run, and don't you dare look back. Now, here's the other thing that I also wanted to let you know. Don't worry about finding the frequencies that everyone is finding. You will find it as you are maneuvering naturally. Okay? It is nothing that we can force, but to surrender in and to follow through. So all of us are going to go at different speeds of light and hit in different variations of levels, and that's okay. We are not here to tell another that one is greater or less than, because divine doesn't care about that. Divine just cares that we get there. Okay? And so keep that in mind, that though you desire to be of a higher frequency and you want those to do the same, you are not in control of their lives. You alone are in control of yours. And that in itself can be difficult, right? So these are things I just wanted to share with you that I've been noticing that's been happening around the world. A lot of you have been going through so much. Be careful. There's a lot of psychic attacks and energetic vampires out there. Learn how to use your energy field to protect yourself and to create very healthy boundaries. Because if it isn't the humans that are going to be violating your energies, there's other entities and other essences that are looking to see how they can enter to take you down. And I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to inspire you. So that way you can start learning about how to use the access of your power, your personal power that you were born with, in times like this. What in the world? It's time for us to all grow up and to develop and to become stronger individuals and to become aligned and strengthened and have that inner peace and to claim our divine femininity and masculinity and our essence, our power, our energies. So thank you all for taking this time to watch and to listen. I woke up and I was totally given these messages. So I was like, all right. So I had to do that, but now I got to get ready for my first session and grab myself a quick smoothie before I begin. Thank you all for watching. If you like these type of messages, mine are always going to be very random because of my full-time practice and because it's when divine speaks to me and I'm being called. Like there is no way I can not share the messages when I come on lives, whenever they can be. Please like our Facebook page and subscribe for notifications so that way when we do Facebook lives or when I do YouTube that you can see the message. Also feel free to like and subscribe my YouTube channel as well. Thank you again, my lovely Vibe Tribe. We got this. We are moving on up. All is well. We are blessed and healthy beings. and we are worthy of having excellent health and more wealth and joy and love and unity. And so it is, and so shall it be. Thank you again. Love, insight, and healing. Take care, everyone.